This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Fan.
Nice to know we have no support from our boss around here. He plays favorites, which doesn't surprise me.
No.
I feel very supported right now.
Sure you do.
Max Fuller, Meat Sauce, Lil B. I'm Tenna B. Brett Blakemore is hosting. One more half of Program Password. Lil B, we didn't have time for like a motivational speech at halftime or anything.
Yeah, it wasn't really in a
Sounds like you just
motivational
got
speech
ripped.
kind of a place.
Yeah, they got ripped by Abbott.
Why are you giving up?
I'm not giving up.
Oh,
Here's
I
your
thought-
speech. Get it together. Let's go. Yeah.
You talking to yourself?
I almost responded when he said, "Why are you giving up?" Because I just assume you're talking about
What is the score?
The score at the break.
Talk about it.
Meat Sauce and
Let's
Max,
go.
54.
Say it again.
54.
Thank you.
Tenna and Lil B, 20.
Say it again.
No.
20.
Oh, I just thought that's what we were doing.
Now it's getting weird.
Let's go. I can't even remember who had the iPad last. I believe
I think it was us because it was Mop because they got janitor off of
Give
it.
me the iPad.
Yes,
I'm taking control back.
Yes,
Uh-oh.
the iPad goes to Lil B and Sauce.
Mommy's fired up.
Yep.
The password
The
is
sequel's better.
snail. All right. Lil B, you can take control of the game with an option. What'd you like to do?
Second.
All right. Sauce and Max for 10.
Escargot. Snail.
I couldn't think of the word.
Escargot, my cargo, 360, swiftly.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of that word.
Great line. Yep.
Damn it, Sauce.
Yep. Well.
How did you think of that
I
word?
don't know. I'm on a heater.
How did you turn into the best program password player I've ever seen? What is going on?
I don't know. I dominated the
play.
initials.
No
game.
sleep.
Yeah.
No sleep.
The saucy slam. Yeah.
Did Brett feed you words ahead of time?
No. There's a lot of things I don't cheat. So.
And I'm not
Just a
feeding
good
him
honest
escargot, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I was going to cheat.
Maybe
All right.
y'all are eating escargot because you're moving at a snail's pace. No. Talk to him. Let him know.
The iPad goes 64 to 20 is your score. Tenna and Max has the iPad.
I'm sorry.
The password is muffin. All right, Tenna, you have the option. What would you like to do?
You're not invited anymore. I used to like you, but now I don't like you anymore.
It's not fun being on the other side.
I used to love doing the show with you.
You guys are going to win. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you guys will make a comeback.
If I pass, Meat Sauce is going to be a boy genius and guess it.
You don't have to go first, Mus.
5 seconds.
Wow.
It's true.
I'll try it.
All right, Tenna and Lil B for 10.
Stud?
Muffin.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good one. That was a really good clue. That was a really good clue.
I didn't know if I was too boomerish for that. I didn't know.
That's good. That's good.
So you've only got
I heard that a lot when I was younger.
Oh, yeah, of
Max,
course. Yeah.
stud muffin all the time.
You've got 30 points, but all 30 of them have come off 10 pointers. Yeah. So 64 to 30 is the score. iPad goes back to Lil B and Sauce. The password is determination.
We need a little momentum here, Lil B. Let's just string a couple together.
Get
All
nervous.
right, Lil B, what would you like to do? You have the option.
Second.
All right, Sauce and Max for 10.
Grit. Grind.
Lucky.
All right, Lil B and Tenna for 9.
Meaning.
Work.
Sauce and Max for 8.
Hustle. Work.
Lil B and Tenna for 7.
Drive.
Passion.
Sauce and Max for 6.
Passion. Devote.
We are going to be so mad when we find out what this word
I feel
is.
like it's really obvious.
Lil B and Tenna for 5.
Goals.
Saucy and Max for 4.
Grit. Achieve.
Oh, come on!
Hit the wrong button. Hit the wrong button. Sorry, wrong button.
I was going to say, if that would have been achieve, I was just going to throw stuff.
No.
Hit the wrong button.
Determination. That's a terrible
Determination.
word. Yeah, that's a terrible word.
That's tough.
Let's go the iPad. The score is 64-30. iPad goes over to Maxo and
We
Tenna.
didn't win, but we didn't lose.
Correct.
That's the two of you.
Now
That's right.
I want grits for breakfast.
I've never had. I
almost
went oatmeal.
Oh, God, that's so good.
So good.
The password is wing.
You too.
Tenna, you have the option. You're down 64-30. What would you like to do? He's contemplating.
I'll pass.
All right. Max and Sauce for 10.
Flap. Wings. Let's go.
Is that one chance to change?
No, we
give it to him.
accept the
All
plural
right.
version.
All right. All right.
Let's go. Let's go. Like the bird. Like Birdman. I almost went with Birdman as the clue.
Gator boots.
So good. So good.
Well, it's
We're about to get mussed.
It's 2:00, and Meat Sauce and Max are on match-winning point potentially, 74-30. Tenna, do you have a comedy show to promote, or do you have any appearances you want to?
I don't want to hear anything coming out of your mouth anymore.
Well, you never have.
This game is not over.
It's
All right.
It's not over. It's not over yet. What's the score?
The score is 74-30.
Okay. It's not
Sauce and
over
Max.
yet. I'm wondering. I just want to know where we were at.
5 tens in a row and this game's over.
Right, yeah.
is true.
Here comes 3 layups. Yeah, just exactly.
All right. iPad goes over
Touchdown,
to
2-point conversion.
That's right. Always. iPad goes over to Lil B and Sauce. The password is round. All right, Lil B. The option is yours. Game potentially on the line. What would you like to do?
First,
Lil B and Tenna for 10.
circular.
Sphere.
Sauce and Max for 9 and the win.
Ball. Round. Talk about it.
Right after I said it.
Talk about it. Yeah.
And that is your game. Sauce and Max. 83-30 is your final.
That was lots of fun. Thanks.
That was so
really,
much fun.
Really fun. From now on, when Common's out, we're just not going to play program password. We'll play the
Rock, paper, scissors.
we'll play the name game or something. Call calm down.
That was fun.
Calm down.
That was a blast.
That was great.
Max, Game 3, Wolves versus Lakers.
Yes, sir.
Your thoughts? What's going to happen tonight?
I think the Wolves get a big old W. I thought they had the same looks that they had in Game 1. They just didn't cash in on those opportunities. So I'm expecting
You thought they did have the same looks? I thought the Lakers' defensive intensity was much greater.
Yeah, but I don't trust it, though. Because it's like, even at the end of the day, the Wolves' defense has a higher ceiling than the Lakers' defense. And the Lakers are completely reliant on Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves. If those three are not going off, even if one of them is not going off, they're going to have a hard time. Because they haven't even eclipsed 100 points so far this series. So they're going to have a hard time scoring on it. We have so many different options, and Rudy's barely been a factor offensively. Dante DiVincenzo's barely been a factor offensively. Mike Conley has kind of been a no-show. Well, the last game he was. So I think we have so many options of different people that could go off. I like the Wolves' chances here.
Okay. Lil B, you going tonight?
I am not going tonight.
Okay. Because if your family likes to go to basketball
we
games.
do like to go to basketball games. I'm going to wait.
You going to any of these?
I'm going to wait until the next one.
Did you stop going to Twins games?
Yeah.
Everybody
Everybody
did.
did, which is abundantly clear.
That crowd at that first White Sox game the other day was brutal.
Super brutal.
Hideous.
Yeah.
But you're doing pregame tonight, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Presented by?
What time will that
Presented
be?
by Youngstead. It'll be 6:30
the best.
to
They're the
8
best.
p.m. Me and Parker Fox
You and
back
Parker?
together once again. Yeah.
No fan line, though.
No fan line. It'll be like midnight, 1 a.m. probably
That's
by the
sleepy
time
time.
that we started. So no fan line, but fan line pregame and fan line on Sunday
Yes.
when the Wolves will hopefully be up 3-1 after the game.
We're just going to go to break really early because Sauce is going to hang out and talk NFL draft with me
Let's
for
do
the
it.
rest of the hour.
Hey!
Let's do it.
Thank you, Max.
Of course.
Lil
Thank
B,
you.
sorry.
Whatever.
I apologize as well, Barb.
Yep. That's fine. Thanks, guys.
Hey, as bad as I was, they were just that good, too.
They were good,
sometimes
but
you
you're
gotta
normally
tip your
not
cap.
that bad.
You got to tip your cap to the opposing team.
I mean, Mop
Thank
was
you.
quite the get.
I don't know how he got him up.
Escargot. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. He
we're
turned into a genius.
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
what? Yeah.
Yeah. He's my sister from another mister.
You can't spell Mensa without meat sauce. Think about it.
Thank you.
Just did. Sauce, you're sticking around talking NFL draft. We'll do that with meat sauce next.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Wild fans, it's playoff time. Secure your tickets now and join the frenzy. Get your tickets for games 4 and 6 today at wild.com/hockey tickets. That's wild.com/hockey tickets.
Hey, welcome back. Tennafitzgerald and now Meat Sauce is going to hang out for the next 49 minutes or so, talking a little NFL draft. The Vikings help out that interior offensive line. They draft guard Donovan Jackson of Ohio State at number 24 last night in the draft. Before we get to the Vikings pick, Sauce, was there anything that surprised you from last night's draft?
Yes. The one thing that surprised me was, and this is just a rant of mine, is I watched the draft on ESPN since 1999. Like in 1998, I just followed it casually. And then when they took Moss, it changed the whole bit, right? So I've watched it religiously since 1999 on ESPN. Last night was the worst ESPN has ever been. And it just is because, like, they make their beds with so many different organizations. They constantly talk Lakers. They constantly have to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. And now they are like Dion and his family's like talking point, right? All they talked about was Shedeur Sanders and
Mel Kiper specifically.
Mel Kiper. I think Pro Football talked it. Mel Kiper was personally offended. They did every pick that went by. And when Jackson Dart has his moment, this is moments and whatever, like you show your grandkids this, right? Like, hey, here's where I got drafted. Well, Donovan Jackson can't do that because immediately ESPN got excited like they were seeing a naked woman for the first time because they thought Shedeur Sanders was going to go to the Giants.
They didn't say one thing about Donovan.
They skipped right over it because
we didn't get a highlight package. Nothing.
No, and Daniel Jeremiah on NFL Network, they did, but it's just like they zero in on like 3 players, and because he didn't go, it's all they talked about. And then you kind of like, they used to do the bit where they would have like Mel's like best available, just continuously scroll on the bottom.
Yeah.
That wasn't there. And like, I know it's the era of like looking on your phones and like people, but like, don't print out the internet. I'm not going to print out like Daniel Jeremiah's and like I used to and like cross them off as they went. But like, I don't know. It just was a bad production. And it was just that's all they wanted to talk about. Every pick was, oh, are they trading up? Oh, why didn't they take him? And it just got old after a while. But to answer your question.
That being said, like, we had 3 options last night, right? It was on ABC, It was on NFL Network, and I still find myself, I like the personalities on ESPN, and I tune in. I like hearing that same bed.
Of course, the best.
Well, they're showing the highlights, like it's the best ever. So
the countdown music, the best.
I agree that they were a little overkill on Shedeur Sanders, but if next year's draft, I'll be doing the exact same thing. I'll right back to
Saucy,
ESPN.
would you be watching ESPN if the Cowboys drafted Sanders?
I mean,
because it would never end.
It would never end. But I think what we're going to run into next year is, and he will probably be the number 1 overall pick, is Arch Manning, and that'll be a 3-month buildup because they're also in bed with the Mannings. And I'm shocked we didn't see the Kelseys last night. But from the draft itself, I thought some of the best picks I thought what Jacksonville did was outstanding. When you have a guy in Travis Hunter compared to Shohei Ohtani, you don't trade away I don't understand what Cleveland's doing. And I know they got a bunch of draft picks. I know they now have 2 first-round picks in next year's draft. They have 2 of the top 4 picks in the second round. I don't know what you're doing. You take Travis Hunter and you just let him do what he does.
Jacksonville could be in the top 5 pick next year.
I mean,
in a much more loaded quarterback draft.
Yeah, which it will be. So,
or at least you'll have 2 first-round picks to be able to move up.
Yeah.
And maybe get that quarterback.
But,
so I was actually on Cleveland's side.
I thought there were like I liked how the Raiders stood still and just waited and Genti fell in their lap. I don't understand what the Falcons are doing, but there were some weird things that happened. But also, it's the best. I love watching it, and I'll watch every round tonight, and I'll watch every round tomorrow.
I had a bit I was going to do, but I need a pen. So, Brett, if you could come in and just throw me
I have one.
Do you have one?
Yeah.
You throw it to me?
Sauce is always prepared.
Well, you kind of need one for yourself. Well, I'll just tell you. Are you ready?
All right, go ahead.
It's now time for Blind Rank.
Oh, sweet. Love this bit.
NFL draft version of Blind Rank. Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm going to give you 10 NFL teams from the first round last night. I want you to order them in terms of number 1 being the best draft, 10 being the worst draft, 1 to 10.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
So you don't know what teams are coming next.
All right.
So you have to blind rank them. First team, Atlanta Falcons, 1 through 10.
All right. Do you want me to say it or you want...
Well, pick the number if you want to maybe just give me
10.
an explanation.
10.
You thought they had the worst?
The worst, yeah.
Why is that?
I just think that they needed they took 2 pass rushers. I think they gave up a ton to get up and to get that second pick when you give up next year's first round pick to move up into the back half of the second round. I don't get that at all.
Yeah, that second pick on James Pierce Jr.
Yeah.
That was one of those where I'm like, I wish the Vikings would have made that trade. I know none of us want us picking 46, but to get a first rounder in next year's draft.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't we make that trade?
Yeah, I thought the same thing when it happened.
All right, so you already have the Atlanta Falcons at number 10, so you're not going to be able to put anyone lower than them. How about the Chicago Bears? They drafted Colston Loveland, tight end out of Michigan, at number 10.
I think he's one of the better picks in the draft. I'll put them at 3.
Chicago Bears at 3. So you have 3 and 10. How about the Cleveland Browns?
I mean, the way you put it is, I'd put them at 4. I'll put them.
I thought you were just ripping their trade.
Yeah, but the way you put it was a logical adult response to it. So I'll put it at 4.
I think to go down 3 picks and to gather that much.
I mean, you went,
and you still have a guy that you think.
Yeah. It's better than you think. But I just think that he's so good.
All right, so you have the Bears at 3, Browns at 4, Atlanta Falcons at 10. We're playing blind rank. How about the Pittsburgh Steelers? They ended up not going with the quarterback at pick 21. They took Derek Harmon, defensive tackle out of Oregon.
See, I didn't get that pick because Alec Lewis reported that he had some like hip and knee injuries, and they desperately need a quarterback. And to move on from him and not take either Jackson Dart or Sanders, they must. I don't know. I'll give that a.
What's the name of their defensive lineman who's been there for a while? He's like 36 years old.
Cam Hayward.
Yes. I had read that he's like a Cam Hayward clone. Like,
okay.
Stylistically, like that's your replacement in the future. But go ahead.
I'll give that a 7.
7 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right. You got Bears at 3, Browns at 4, Steelers at 7, Falcons at 10. How about Brett Blakemore's Green Bay Packers? They took,
come on, Saucy,
at pick 23, Matthew Golden, wide receiver out of Texas.
I mean, I think that's one of the best picks in the draft. I think that the Packers have like a bunch of, number 2 wide receivers. They have, they have a lot of good players.
It's funny, they've been telling us for years how great their wide receivers are, yet they had to go draft another one.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny how that works?
Yeah. But I'll do 5. I thought that was a good pick.
5 for the Green Bay Packers. Yeah. Brett, I'm assuming you just love the pick.
I do. We've been saying for years that how often have the Packers been ripped? They won't support Aaron Rodgers and never get him any weapons, and they finally do, and it's a stupid pick.
I thought they'd do that last year, which would have been such a great rip to him, is immediately take a wide receiver. That would have been so good.
What do you like about Matthew Golden?
I like the entire skill set. I like the speed, and have the whole route tree. I love it.
Same. I think he's a great pick. I think he should have gone to like 11 or 12th. I think he should have been the first wide receiver taken.
Can I throw you the wet blanket on Matthew Golden?
Right, go ahead.
First of all, analytically, he's all over the place. Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, wow. That's sad.
So, the thing people love about Matthew Golden is he just crushed the combine with the 40-yard dash, right? Mm-hmm. 4.29 40-yard dash. Can I give you a list of the wide receivers that have had the fastest combines in NFL history? Xavier Worthy, 4.21. John Ross, 4.22.
Massive bust.
Henry Ruggs, 4.27. Marquise Goodwin, 4.27. Tyquan Thornton, 4.28.
Who?
J.J. Nelson, 4.28.
Who?
Jacoby Ford, 4.28. Darius Hayward Bay, 4.30.
What a bust by the
Velus
Raiders.
Jones Jr., 4.31. Paris Campbell, 4.31. Andy Isabella, 4.31. Curtis Samuel, 4.31.
Where's Tyreek?
Now you have...
Did he not do the combine?
He might not even done the combine. He might have,
I doubt it.
He wasn't thought highly enough. He probably wasn't invited to the combine.
Wow. Yeah.
Tyreek Hill would be your one exception to here's a speedster that ended up being a very good wide receiver. But that's a list of a bunch of fast players. Not one good. I guess Xavier Worthy still might have a shot. He had a decent rookie year.
Yeah, he also plays on,
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of them, complete busts.
Yeah, John
Speed
Ross
as a wide receiver is the most overrated trait ever.
Yeah. That's why.
Because these corners can all run, so you got to be able to run. It's not like in college where you can just outrun somebody.
Yeah.
We've been spending too much time with Common, just trying to wet blanket our pick.
I'm giving you facts.
Yeah, take that.
This isn't even an opinion. It's a fact. Look at that.
Yeah,
look
Rosie.
Did any of those wide receivers do anything for you?
Not a whole lot. No.
Matthew Golden is going to be a bust.
Wow.
You heard it here first.
Greasy.
No!
But Meat Sauce puts it at number 5. How about a team that made a lot of noise? That would be the New York Giants. They draft Abdul Carter at number 3, but then they end up trading their second-round pick to get back into the first round. At pick 25, they take Jackson Dart, quarterback out of Ole Miss. Where would you blind rank them? You have 1, 2, 6, 8, and 9 available.
I would rank that number 1.
Really?
I thought that was the best draft. I think that when you can get there, as they said yesterday before the draft started, there are 2 blue chip high end players, and they were Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter. And to get one and then come back up, they went far. What did they go from 34 up to get the
34 to 25?
Yeah,
gave up 2 third-rounders.
Yeah, that's.
I wish the Vikings would have done that too.
That's a no-brainer. Yeah, I think. Yeah, and we can talk more about it. I'm glad the Vikings didn't move, and I think I have a decent opinion on it, but we'll get to that if you want.
All right, 4 more left in blind rank. You have 2, 6, 8, and 9. The Baltimore Ravens. They selected Malachi Stark, safety out of Georgia. Of course, they already have a good safety there who you're very familiar with.
Yeah. I think everybody kind of loved that bit because like everybody they pick is good, right? They always pick well. They picked a safety even though it was probably not a glaring need for them. Man, I'll say
You have 2, 6, 8, 9 available.
I'll say 6.
6 for the Baltimore Ravens. So you have 2, 8. You kind of like everyone's draft so far.
Yeah.
2, 8, 9 available. Up next we have Duval, the Jacksonville Jaguars, who traded up from 5 to 2, got the guy who you apparently like in Travis Hunter, who played both wide receiver and cornerback for Colorado. They had to give up a lot to get there, though.
Yeah, they did have to give up a lot. I think on pure talent, he's the best player in the draft. I mean, I'm not going to rank at 8, and I think I walked into the trap, and I think I'm going to rank the Vikings 8th, so I'll rank that 2.
How do you know the Vikings are going to be on this?
Yeah, I don't know.
So you're taking Jacksonville at number 2?
Yeah.
So all you have left is 8 and 9.
Oh, dang it.
You really put yourself in a pickle here.
Yeah, it's all right. I do that to myself.
By the way, Thor Nystrom was on at 12:30. He made a good point of, if you just look at trade value charts, how much they had to give up, it's a lot. But one, if it was a quarterback, no one would be saying a thing.
That's
he said,
correct.
2, this guy can play 2 positions for you.
Yeah.
Like he's going to be on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, Thor's great.
All right, you have 8 and 9 available. Next up would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They selected Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver out of Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go 9. Good pick, maybe kind of a reach, but it maybe says what they believe in. I thought maybe if they were going to take receiver, I thought maybe they'd take Golden, but I'm
glad they took Egbuka so that Green Bay couldn't get him.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he's better than Golden.
I was hoping the Vikings would have taken him, but 9.
9.
Yeah.
The wide receiver I like the most out of this class is still available in the second round.
Oh.
Luther Burden.
Yeah, I mean, pre-draft, they thought he'd be like a top 10 pick. I don't know. He must have had a really bad year at Missouri.
He did have a down year.
Yeah.
Everything around him was awful, though.
Well, the only way we're getting back into this tonight is we got to give up next year's collateral to get into it.
All you have left is number 8. That would be your Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I walked into that. That's fine. I think it's better than 8th, but I think they had a very good draft. I think the player, they realized that the interior offensive line cost them their season, along with how it affected Sam Darnold, among the other things that affected Sam Darnold. And they spent $110 million on 2 players and then drafted one with the 24th overall pick.
So for blind rank, you had the Giants at 1, Jaguars at 2, Bears at 3, Browns at 4, Packers at 5, Ravens 6, Steelers 7, Vikings 8, Buccaneers 9, Falcons 10. Now that it's over with, the blind rank is over, would you change any of those?
I mean, I would probably change the Vikings at 8 with, who did I have 4th?
You had the Browns at 4.
No, they got too much.
You had the Bears at 3. You might have.
Well, I'll flip that. Yeah,
Bears. You like the Vikings that much?
I mean, I just think that's a pick that, like, it's the first guard they've taken in the first round since Randall McDaniel, and like they meant business. And this kid played left tackle for a while because Josh Simmons got hurt. This is a really good player that they got at left guard, and I think it's just a plug and play pick. And I mean, Pro Bowls don't mean much like they used to, but I think this guy can be a Pro Bowl guard. I think he's that good.
All right, let's talk more about the Vikings selection. Next, Meat Sauce, our draft expert. One more segment right here in the Tennafitzgerald.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Get ready to head north with the Power Trip. Join the guys at Grandview Lodge May 1st and 2nd. Be there on Thursday night for off-air fun and games for great prizes. Then stick around as we go live on air Friday morning, including the initials game and your shot at a stay at Tanca Verde Dude Ranch in Arizona. Lucky. Get all the details today, KFAN.com/Grandview. KFAN.com/Grandview.
My button bar? Well, my button bar up, Brett. I had a great line after you just talked.
I think it was on.
No, my button.
Oh, no, it's there. There you go.
Dynamite drop in,
Thank
Lonnie.
you.
That broadcast school has really paid off.
I wish I didn't turn it up.
That's such a great
So good.
scene. Because doesn't he just go, yeah. It's so
That
great.
movie's awesome.
Oh, he makes the movie. It's so good. So good. I love that movie.
I within the last 2 weeks, with our kids, we've only ever played, like basically movies you can see on Disney Plus
Of
or like
course.
kids movies on Netflix. Leo's 10 now, right? And it's like, well, we still, don't need to be showing him too many movies where they're swearing and,
Got it. Yep.
the illusion to cellular illusion.
Correct. Yep.
But so, all right, we're going to let him watch Happy Gilmore.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you let him watch Major League.
No.
I saw that at like 7.
No.
Every other word's the F word.
Oh, yeah. Major League, I don't think we can do.
No, you can't do that
But
until he's like
he
35.
was rolling on the floor about Happy Gilmore. And then the following week, I'm like, all right, well, it's time to introduce you to Dumb and Dumber.
Oh.
We let the 8-year-old watch that as well.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, they both loved it. So
Yeah. Dumb and Dumber
it's kind of fun to start introducing the kids.
Yeah, my son and I watched Citizen Kane the other day. He didn't really. No, I'm kidding. But when we flew to Florida, we brought him with, and we just put something on just in case we had the ear meltdown.
Sure.
And we put Mario on.
Yeah.
He immediately was like the red.
Really?
Oh yeah. And then Princess Peach came up on the screen. Huge smile on his face.
Really?
I'm like, yeah.
Didn't even know he could actually focus at that
I think
age.
so, yeah. Well, his dad can't, so hopefully he can.
How can we get back on the right track?
Great bit.
Let's play a little talkback. If you want to deliver us a talkback, I will be monitoring them over the next 10, 20 minutes. Maybe we can replay them if you have any questions for Meat Sauce about the NFL draft. The way the talkback works, you go to the iHeartRadio app, click on the KFAN station, and then right by the play button, there's a microphone. You can't talk for more than 30 seconds, so keep it a little bit brief. But you can send us a talkback. We might get to it. Here's one for you, Sauce. Oh, no. Oh, no, this isn't working.
Hi.
All right. Well, maybe if Blakemore can get it on his end, we won't be able to play it. I did get some texts. I would like to hear Brett's response to this. It says Golden couldn't hide his disappointment when the Packers picked him. I thought the exact same thing when he got picked. Didn't you see him walking? Now, eventually, once he got out to the stage and saw just like billions of people standing out there, he
Cheering for him?
Yeah, he started faking it and acting like he was really excited being reinstated. When he got selected, he showed zero emotion, no smiling, looked like his dog had just been killed on his walk outside.
Yeah, who would want to get featured in an offense of the franchise quarterback anyways? What a loser.
Is he a franchise quarterback?
Yeah,
No, he is not. No. He and Brock Purdy are the two most overrated quarterbacks.
Right now, he's at like Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff level.
Yeah.
He's not.
Sounds like a lot of projecting coming from Vikings fans saying that he looked so disappointed. Who would want to go to Green Bay? There's a lot of projection
Did it not?
going on.
Did you watch it?
He just looked like he was walking out there. It didn't seem. He said afterwards it's like one of the greatest moments of his life, like with the crowd cheering for him. So that's, to me, that's equally as valid as him walking slowly through the tunnel while people cheer for him. I think you're reading into a lot.
I mean, Travis Hunter ran because he was so glad he didn't have to go to Cleveland.
He was very, very excited.
Yeah, he was.
Speaking of Travis Hunter, Nick in St. Paul texts at 64686. Travis Hunter is a product of the Sanders hype train. Smart move to trade the pick to whoever would bite. He will be a complete and total bust.
Oh.
I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know. I can see a scenario in which he's not living up to the hype, right? I mean, it's your number 2 overall pick, and wide receivers typically aren't drafted that high.
Yeah.
You got to be like future Hall of Famer to live up to being a number 2 pick. So I can see, but he should just be, he should be a quality player.
Yeah.
But I get, he's.
I mean, I think though, Travis Hunter is the perfect example of, and I think this is what has happened to Sanders is they beat up on some really bad football teams. And I think what you saw is Travis Hunter took advantage of that. And you say that all the time, like when you watch, like, especially preseason football, right? Like, well, it's preseason football, but the 2 guys we watched are the 2 best guys. They played great, and they're playing against 3rd, 4th string guys, right? That's, I think, what you kind of see. But Travis Hunter is a freak athlete. Travis Hunter, if Cam Ward didn't exist, he would have been the number 1 overall pick as a corner wide receiver. Like, he's an elite player. He was he's the number 1 recruit. He's outstanding.
Yeah.
He is going to be a great player.
He's elite at 2 sides of the ball.
The reason Jacksonville picked him, they gave all that away, is they think he's a shutdown corner and a stud wide receiver. When Field Yates and Dan Orlovsky are basically saying he's Justin Jefferson as a wide receiver and Patrick Surtain as a corner, of course you give that all up. I mean, that would have been great. If the Vikings had the second pick and moved out, devastating. If I'm a Browns fan, I know they got a haul. That's Cleveland needed a guy like that has that pizzazz, all that. I
think Cleveland is trying to set themselves up for next year's draft, right? And because they had many opportunities to get a quarterback. I think they saw we need a quarterback.
Yeah,
next year's draft is going to be better, and the way we're situated here, if they wanted a quarterback, they easily could have gone after one. They had all the draft capital in the world to do it. And trading to get a first-round pick next year, I think they're setting themselves up. Because even in free agency, who'd they go get in free agency for their quarterback position? They got Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett, correct? Right? I mean, they're not even trying.
And the Raiders are favored as of right now to take Sanders. And that means that he gets past both of Cleveland's picks.
So I want to ask you about Shedeur Sanders.
By the way, I thought I clicked on the 1994 video Dead Man Walking, but it was Matthew Golden getting called up to the Vikings. He looks pissed. Tenna's right. He looks like he'd rather be anywhere else.
Dan Minnesota texted, seriously, Brett, he looked as happy as Zach LaVine when he got drafted by the Wolves.
Genius. Yeah, it's over for your guy.
I want to ask you about Shedeur Sanders. Take away ESPN's endless coverage about him. I'm just talking about him as a quarterback, as a draft prospect. Are you surprised that he slipped out of the first round last night?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know the answer because I think when you watch him, and I've seen him play because Colorado is, and rightfully so, what Deanna's done with that program. For a while, they were on like every primetime spot, 3:00 in the afternoon, or they were on at night, right? As I said about Travis Hunter, now I'm sure there's people who like Thor who deep dive into college football could show you situations where he played against really good competition. But like most of these highlights are against like Kansas and some of these teams like that. I think, are they in the Big 12? Doesn't matter. But I just think that when he got into some of these meetings, he just kind of rubbed people the wrong way. I think he played again. I think he played with an awful offensive line.
Yep.
But he had one of the best weapons in college football in Travis Hunter to bail him out. Right? He bailed him out.
That's all he had, though.
That's all he had.
He had nothing else. He had no running game. He had no other receivers. He had an awful offensive line.
I think I heard
that's all he had.
I think I heard last night that
he didn't have what Cam Ward had.
No, he didn't. No, Cam Ward, but I like Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward's good. Was I shocked he didn't fall out of the first round? Yes, but I wasn't shocked Jackson Dart went in front of him. I think Jackson Dart.
You like Jackson Dart?
I think he's a better quarterback. Yeah. I think when your draft comp is like, he doesn't have the strongest arm, doesn't have all the athletic ability in the world, right? And he's kind of a field general, like where he's just kind of a point guard. You can't pick that with a top 5 pick, right? Like you see some like Caleb Williams.
You can pick that with 21, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or even like one of these teams that need quarterbacks in the second round could have jumped up into the first round and didn't get them.
This is a question for Brett, and I bet I know his answer. I mean, I would bet you Aaron Rodgers said, "Don't take a rookie quarterback, or I'm not coming." Because he doesn't want that.
I thought I saw one of those reporters, NFL reporters, saying, "Hey, Rodgers has given him."
Yeah,
they asked for his decision 48 hours before the draft.
Right, and
the fact that they didn't draft a quarterback might lead you to believe that Rodgers is going there
because he's not, especially with the hype.
And we have seen Cousins to Minnesota's team all of a sudden, so that would make sense.
And I would also, you think Aaron brings a lot with him. and Sanders may turn out to be a great quarterback. I don't think he will, but if you brought Sanders to Pittsburgh and then you brought in Rodgers, I mean, it would be from the second ESPN started to the second it went off the air. That's all they talk about. And I'm not kidding, right? And I just think that I would bet if you could find the right person, he probably said, don't take a first or second round rookie quarterback or I'm not coming.
Well, then sign.
Yeah.
Or maybe he was waiting till the draft to make sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
He might not want him to be in one of those Cousins Penix situations.
What do you make of the Cousins coming back here bit? Do you think that makes any sense?
Well, it sounds like I don't know what the Vikings would have to give up from a draft capital standpoint or what they'd have to give up in a trade, but you don't have to pay. It sounds like you don't have to pay like $10 million.
Well, if it's $10 million for sure, but what's he got left? He's got a huge amount left on that contract. Is it $127 million?
Yeah, but I'm saying you would only have to take $10 million of it. I mean, that's the whole.
Well, then you do it today.
Yeah,
I mean
That's the thing is, no team is trading for Kirk Cousins under his current contract parameters. The Falcons want to have another team. Hey, let's unload him. You take a percentage of the cap, from us.
Yeah. I would bet one of the picks the Vikings have this weekend will be flipped for some sort of vet position, I would guess.
We're just not going to draft anybody?
Well, no, I think they'll take a corner. They'll trade for a corner. I mean, that Asante Samuel thing kind of keeps coming back, but I don't know. I think they
still have money available in free agency the way they were working it.
I don't know. I'm shocked they haven't signed anybody else or made some kind of move for a vet corner.
Well, I don't know how deep of a dive you get into the NFL draft. I don't know if it's past first round or not, but I'll ask you anyways. Vikings have third round pick.
97.
Potentially tonight. It's the compensatory one, so it's late. It's technically the first pick of the fourth round or the last, right after the third round's over, right?
It's going to take a while, yeah.
And then they have, as of right now, picks in the fifth round and sixth round. Is there any players in that potential range that you have your eye on? Is there a position you'd like to address? I'd like to think for the most part that they're not really in we have to take this position, at least for 2025.
Yeah.
You have many guys, moving forward 2026 for the future that you have positions of need. But in terms of 2025, there's really not a lot for, hey, we need to have this.
I mean, I'd like a defensive tackle. CJ West, the guy that Thor brought up, I think he broke it down with Nordo and I last week at the auto show. I think that'd be a good player. Corner would be great. I mean, I think if you can find somebody in if Quinnen Ewers, the quarterback from Texas, is still on the board when you have that fifth pick, I would just take him. I think
they're not going to draft. I know Thor mentioned it. I just don't buy it.
I mean,
There's so many still options available out there for a backup-ish quarterback. That why are you going to sit there and develop another one when you're already trying to develop J.J. McCarthy? Because that guy, if you're drafting Quinn Ewers, you're not trusting him in this year's games.
I don't think you're trusting him.
You're already, it's one thing if you have 8 picks in the draft and you can take a flyer on.
Point. Yeah, that's a good point.
And the other part of this is Kwesi hasn't signed a contract extension yet.
Yeah.
Which, if you look at the first round last night, there were 2 trades made after the purple.
Yep.
That I would have been like, man, I wish the Vikings would have made that trade. The one being to the Giants where you drop back to 34 and you get 2/3. One would third be for next year.
Yeah.
Or the trade that the Rams made with the Falcons.
I mean, outstanding.
That went from 26 to 46. You end up getting a first rounder. I'm sitting there going, why didn't the Vikings make these trades? The trades are so much value. Yeah. But Kwesi might think, I am in win now mode here with how bad my drafts have been. Like I can't kick the can down the road again. And I can't play for the future. And I don't know. Maybe that had something to do with.
And I think you're right too. I mean, we've seen Nordo pointed out earlier today off the air when we were talking about it. I mean, Wyatt Davis was the Big Ten lineman of the year. He was a massive bust. Willie Beavers was a massive bust, right? We've taken some awful offensive linemen, but if you hit on an offensive lineman and you get a good one, it's probably the easiest position to go up that and running back are probably the easiest positions if you're good at it to play at the next level. And I think Donovan Jackson is a really good pick. Thor thinks he was maybe the best guard in the draft. I think that when you take Donovan Jackson, if you think he's as good as he is, it's a pick you don't have to worry about. It's a pick that will most likely play, and it's a pick that you can't pinpoint how bad it is because it's not a skill position player, and it's not he'll play, mean, Dallas Turner was never on the field. Lewis Cine never played. So, like, you notice that. He's going to get the opportunity to play at least. He'll start because you don't take a guy at 24. Now you have great depth with Brandel. So, yeah, I think it's an easy position to transition to the next level. And I think it's a great pick. I think he's a really good player.
When the Vikings were on the board at 24, and assuming they weren't going to trade down, which they didn't, what other names were out there that you thought, man, I'd like the Vikings to take that guy other than?
Well, I haven't done a very deep dive, but I saw it go viral a little bit yesterday. I don't know what's wrong with the corner from Michigan. Does he just not have knees? He should have been a top 10 pick. He's still available. Every single team passed on him. Every single team let him go by, and there were corners taken in front of him. I thought Will Johnson may have been the pick. I really like the guy the Bills got from Kentucky. Is it Hairston, the corner? I liked him.
How about him last night from personality? He was dapping everybody up.
That's great. And
I want that guy on my team.
I mean, I like the guy you mentioned. I like the Luther Burden guy. I like skill position players, especially, it's a fantasy football world, but I'm fine with that. I honestly, like I said, I'd forgotten about that Donovan Jackson, we'd talked, Nordo and I have talked about him. I'm sure you guys, everybody's kind of brought him up just in like an offensive lineman that may be there. But when he was taken, I thought it was a great pick. I really do. But Will Johnson, if he had two good knees, he would have been gone. But that was kind of puzzling where I'm like, what is wrong with him? And I've heard that from people that they have cleared him. The Vikings have medically, but they must really like Donovan Jackson.
So Vikings, as of right now, only have 3 more picks, assuming no more trades are made. And I know it's a huge assumption because trades are always made. But assuming no more trades are made, my guess is they are going to go after interior defensive linemen with their compensatory 3rd-round pick because, even after last night, Quays was saying, we came in wanting to make sure we were addressing both of our lines, right? We want the trenches like that. That's what they were eyeing. That's what they're trying to get better at. I do think you can get some skill position guys in the 5th or 6th round. This is a very good running back class.
Very good. Yeah.
And even in the 5th round, you are going to have some NFL caliber running backs available. I want Ollie Gordon.
I love Ollie Gordon.
Yes.
From
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State. Yeah, great player.
Big dude.
Yeah, huge. Yeah, he'd be great. Yeah.
And then in the 6th round, I think you can get a slot receiver. Cam Ward's guy out of Miami, Xavier Restrepo, is the guy that I would go after. So, and even there's the deeper tight end draft as well, where there's some tight ends available. So, to me, I think that's the approach. Is their next pick, whenever that is, I think they're going to address the defensive line.
I haven't done a deep dive into the 2026 draft picks that the Vikings have, but I read something earlier that they are probably going to get 2 compensatory picks, one in the 3rd round and one in the 4th round. I wouldn't be shocked if they took something from next year to maybe move up into the 70s. I don't think they're going to sit at 97, right?
Yep.
Like, there's somebody that they really like. I just, I'll watch the whole thing. I'll have the Lakers on one of the TVs, the Lakers and the Wolves. But, yeah, I think they're going to find their way.
Go get one of those Notre Dame defensive backs.
Yeah, I like Watts. Watts is good, yeah. But I think they're going to find their way to somebody in maybe the 70s.
Cam Ward selected 1st overall to the Tennessee Titans, and it's funny because you hear people thinking Travis Hunter's a stud, Abdul Carter's a stud. Even though Cam Ward went number 1 overall, you're not really hearing from him about that, right? I mean, people are saying if he was in last year's draft, he'd go 4th or 5th or 6th.
Yeah, he'd probably be
here
7th,
he's I feel like he's one of the least talked about number 1 overall picks. I feel like no one's really been talking about him that much.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just because of the Colorado kids with Hunter and Shadur Sanders take up all the headlines. I don't know, but went 1 overall, and I feel like nobody talks about him.
Well, and you think about, you even go back to last year. I mean, in October, they were saying Caleb Williams is going to be the number 1 overall pick, right? And I think, in 6 months, in October, they will be saying that Arch Manning will be the number 1 overall pick, right? Like, there's going to be, next year's quarterback draft is good. And, I don't know. I think he's the least talked about number 1 overall pick maybe ever. he was taken, and it was like, all right, now we move on to like, let's move. Like, we got that out of the way.
Here comes the show now.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's basically how it felt. But they really like him, man. And I heard some really good things about him. He's been good everywhere he went. I think he's a really good kid. I don't know. You can't. I mean, what were they gonna do? Take Hunter at 1? Like, they don't have anybody. Levis sucks, and yeah, they had to do something.
I don't mean to keep bringing up Shedeur Sanders, but
No.
this text.
Go ahead, ESPN.
This text I find very interesting.
Okay.
Shedeur to Jacksonville.
I mean, that would be, yeah.
Reunite him with Hunter?
Yeah, that'd be great. Something, I just think, I'm shocked somebody like his squad did 5 years ago, didn't, somebody with a aging quarterback hasn't taken him, right? Just keep him on the roster. The circus that comes with him is probably why they haven't, but it's going to be interesting to see where he goes, because I don't think he's going to go to Cleveland with the first pick in this round.
Thank you for taking the time today. I know you were tired and sleepy, but I know it's also your Super Bowl to talk a little NFL draft. To get more of it tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah,
do you have a draft show tomorrow?
Yeah, we're on noon to 2. Thor Nystrom is going to join us noon to 1, so it'll be fun.
You and Nordo?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Thanks to Max and Lil B and Thor Nystrom for joining as well. Thanks to Brett Blakemore for helping out on the other side of the glass. Common will be back on Monday. Thank you for listening today. Have a great weekend. It's been a good day.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.